Take a look around. There really aren't a whole lot of people out shopping for high-end goods in New York City. In fact, things are still pretty slow here. A lot like the floor of the New York Stock Exchange.
I'd offer you 10 at 55.
Okay, thank you. That's a pretty good market. Doreen's still here trading on the world's most famous stock exchange, but this once fast-paced trading floor is dramatically different since the crash of 2008. Actually, it's pretty darn quiet around here.
There's no room at the moment, GPC, so it's pretty quiet.
Thousands of Wall Street financial jobs gone in the meltdown of '08, losses we haven't seen since the 1930s crash. So how have things changed right here?
I've been here 33 years, but last fall actually felt like this could be something that would take us into the depression.
What in the world is happening on Wall Street?
This market is as volatile as you'll ever see.
Just broad-based declines across all of the major technology sectors.
676 points down.
Everything there completely wiped out. And the NASDAQ, everything and more has been completely wiped out.
We haven't seen anything like this probably since the Great Depression, I think it's fair to say.
It was a Wall Street earthquake that devoured the financial giants, some more than a century old. AIG, Bear Stearns, Freddie Mac, Lehman Brothers, all gone. Merged or bailed out by their rich Uncle Sam. Well, that's you and me, our tax money, because of all the bad bets they made. The only two left standing, Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley. Now, you see that plane about ready to take off behind me? It's the fuel that's going to keep that plane in the air. Without it, that plane would crash. Well, it's the same thing with Wall Street. Those investment banks I just mentioned, they're continuously investing in new businesses. They're creating new jobs. They're keeping the economy flying. And without them, the economy loses altitude and crashes. And by the way, even smaller businesses will eventually need the services of an investment bank or venture capital if they ever want to trade their shares here on Wall Street. And despite all the biggest banks disappearing, Wall Street expert Dave Kansas thinks they won't be gone for long.
So instead of the big investment banks that we've seen, we're going to see a couple of big ones that still remain, Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, UBS, and we're going to see a lot of little ones trying to fill the shoes that have been left behind by Lehman, Bear Stearns, and others.
Dave's a Wall Street Journal reporter who wrote the guide to the end of Wall Street, how and what to do next with your investments after the crash.
A lot of people got caught in the downturn, overexposed to stocks, especially older people, and they should not have been. So there's been a return to fundamentals. A good diversified plan is really important, and sticking with that plan.
Meanwhile, the mood over here is downright conservative. The appetite for risk certainly has changed.
Yes, that have definitely changed. I think you're going to see new regulations, which, you need them in place.
We're going to see more restrictions on the amount of risk that banks and investment banks can take.
So what's an ordinary investor to do? Well, Sabrina's an options trader who says that despite any new rules, investors will be wise to ride out any storms.
Case in point, people that, at the end of the year and beginning of this year decided, that's it, I'm done with the market. They missed out on a huge, unprecedented rally that we've seen since March, and they were unable to take advantage of that, and that hurts.
But ordinary investors need to be assured that all that risk-taking at the top has really been wrung out of the system. Nobody wants to go through that again, not even the traders.
The meltdown has affected our job in that there's literally less activity and seems to be less overall interest in equities at the moment. The reality is that the damage that is done, both psychological and real, takes a long time to repair. It takes a long time to get those confidence levels back.
And that is the key. See, Wall Street's not just a place in lower Manhattan. It has come to represent the center of the entire global financial world. The question is, can confidence be restored?